All right. Great day, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's just jump right in. This is part two of the video. If your jobs are in jeopardy, if you're a web designer. So, this is part two, but most definitely there were some issues like we discussed in the video before. It was definitely number two and number five. So I started diving into number two and five and ended up really getting a long response. So this could be a part three as well. But for now, we're going to see how far we get, and I am going to just go ahead and get to number two. So, guys, there were things that I probably said when I found out and start looking at what ChatGPT really meant by number two and number five. I'm finding out that some of the other numbers that we went over were not the same thing as I was describing. So I want to make sure I get the right information out there. So I probably will most definitely have a part three, and you need to stay tuned for that. So I asked Chat, and we're going to jump right in. I asked Chat, what do you mean when you state that websites will dynamically adapt to user behavior, location, device, and even mood? That was a red flag for me. I'm not sure if it was a red flag for you guys, but it really it really made me think when that came up. So Chad definitely said, well, great question. This is where the web design gets really exciting and kind of mind blowing at the same time. When I say websites will dynamically adapt to user behavior, location, device, and even mood, here's what I mean, and here's the breakdown. So, what I have here is user behavior and adaptation. Websites will change based on how someone uses the site. If a visitor clicks on finance related content, often the homepage might start showing more financial topics. So I definitely feel like once you go to that page, you're going to get flooded with more financial topics. If someone lingers over a product but doesn't buy, the next visit might highlight reviews, discounts, or social proof for that item. So if you were looking for an item and you left and you said, "Oh, I'll buy it later," next time you visit, it's going to have all sorts of information about that product. AI tracks mouse movement, scroll patterns, and bounce rate. This is very concerning. That that AI is tracking the mouse movement, scroll patterns, and bounce rate. And this is what they mean by user behavior and adaptation. Now, I'm not trying to sound conspiracy theory or anything like that. I just think that that's a real concern when it comes to getting an approval from whoever is using their website. There is no approval actually when you just have behavior adaptation. There's no real approval. So, and it adjusts in real time. Okay, so the example is a returning visitor sees a completely different home page tailored to what was previously explored. So, um, they took your mouse movement and your scroll patterns and tailored a whole different um experience for you than what you previously explored. Now, if that's going to happen each and every time that you go to that website, I don't know, but it sure does sound like it if it's tracking your mouse movement and your scroll patterns and your bounce rate. Okay, so number two is location based content, and that was a part of the second one. The site recognizes the visitor's county, city, or even neighborhood and shows localized prices and currencies, nearby service providers, events, or store locations, content that aligns with regional interests, laws, or time zone. Now, this became very concerning as well because this is definitely going over the privacy standard. Standard privacy is going on a website, they really don't know your location, and they're not, they have to ask you if you want, they ask for your zip code before they just um, get into your local community. They ask for your zip code. As far as I know, I've always been asked for the zip code. So, nearby service providers, events, or store locations. So, the site will be able to recognize where you are. And it's possible if they do that, if they recognize where you are, they may not allow you to shop at another location because the store location is already provided. They already know where you are, they already know what's going on. And they're putting the currencies and the prices, all that stuff is for your neighborhood where you live. And you bear, like I said, you have trouble now. You have to put in a zip code to go somewhere else, to another store or shop at another store. Now, I don't know if this will affect it, but I am pretty sure that is going to be a concern with a lot of consumers. So, content that aligns with regional interest, laws, or time zone. Now, when you have content aligning with laws, so that means a legal contract website shows different disclaimers depending on whether the user is in California or Illinois. And I can see that, but if you're in Illinois and you contact a website in California, it's I'm guessing that it's going to switch to California laws. Or if you're in California and you're on an Illinois website, maybe the content will switch to Illinois law. That's what I'm assuming here. A legal contract website shows, that's the example that they gave. So I'm kind of assuming that's it, that is what's going to happen. So no matter what county, city, state you're in, it's going to show you the laws for that state, the disclaimers for that state. It's going to show you different things depending on where you are. So, number three, which is the last of number two, device specific UX. Websites will reshape themselves depending on what device you're using. So, not just responsive, which we have now, but completely different layouts or features. On a smartwatch, you'll get swipe only functionality. On a desktop, full dashboard with drag and drop customization. Okay, so I guess that's not too bad because it is responsive now, but to have you do things on a smartwatch is very, very futuristic. And then on your desktop, you're going to get like a full dashboard to do whatever you need to do. So it says on mobile, a web app might become a voice interface. On desktop, it becomes a drag and drop control panel. Okay, so now we have oh, and this must be number four of, I thought this was the last one. This is number four, mood detection. This is the most futuristic piece, but it's in development already. So not only is this thing it's already out there, it's already being developed, they're going to track your mood, how you're feeling. If you're feeling sad, they're going to be able to detect that. If you're happy, they're going to be able to detect that. If you're professional, they're going to be able to detect that. And what does that say? that and like I said about privacy, will you log on and will they ask you, do you want us to track your mood? Is that something they'll do, or is that something that once you get on that website and you agree to just be on there, you're going to get all this stuff like they do already now. They barely ask you anything. So, and I apologize for my phone, but they barely ask you anything. So, using facial expressions via webcam. Okay. So, obviously, if your webcam is on, they're going to track your facial expressions, voice tone, or even typing patterns. So, if you have your camera on and it has a a speaker on the camera, they're going to track your voice tone. So that is telling me that this information is definitely going to be used against a lot of things, a lot of people once this actually comes to fruition. I'm not sure if they're doing it now, but it's said it's in development already. Even typing patterns, so they understand how you type. So AI can guess the user's mood. I wonder if everybody wants AI to guess their mood. I'm wondering about that. If that's what you guys would like, wow. Okay. The website may adjust colors, tone of language, layout, complexity, or even offer a chatbot if stress is. Wow. Let me reread this. The website may adjust colors, tone of language, layout complexity, or even offer a chatbot if stress is detected. So now that we know what this mood detection is, so if they detect anger, if they detect stress, if they detect anything that can cause a problem, and they offer a chat bot. So let's just say I'm on a website to buy something and I'm getting frustrated, because I can't find the exact color, or I can't find, they're going to send the chat bot, and then that chat bot is going to say, "Hey, what's wrong? What are you looking for?" You know, that's I don't know if that's weird to you guys. But it's very concerning when things like this are coming out and they're actually tracking your mood. They're tracking your mouse clicks, they're tracking your movement of your mouse, the way you type. Those things are, become concerning. So it says is now this is the example. If a user looks frustrated, which I just said, or is typing quickly and angrily, which I just said, which I just described, the website could offer simplified content or live support. And that's the example. That's I had not even read that sentence, but I explained to you exactly what they were going to do, and I was right. This is what they're going to do. They're going to offer you a more dumbed down, simplified content, or they're going to say, "Hey, here's some live support because we see that you're having problems and troubles." So it's no longer a website where you can do things yourself. You're going to be watched, and they are going to monitor how you use the website and what type of mood you are in, and what kind of what kind of interaction you're going to do with websites. So the future is really something else. And don't forget, this is by 2030. So this is like 5 years from now. This is going to be 5 years. So, and then chat says real world applications you'll see soon. Now, this is what's coming up very soon. E-commerce products sorted by what you're emotionally interested in today. So whatever products that you're looking at and you get happy and emotional about it, those are the products that's going to be high ranking. Okay. Learning platforms, lessons slow down or simplify if you're struggling. Wow. Wow. So instead of Instead of letting you look things up or letting you take a break, come back to the material, and try to figure out exactly what needs to happen with your lesson. Instead of looking up the words and, so you can make sense of the meaning of things, so you can understand exactly what's going on. Instead of doing that, what they're going to do is dumb it down for you. They're going to simplify it. They're going to simplify so you don't struggle. So you don't struggle. Wow. Okay. Hey, the future is the future. Web design portfolios, pages update with case studies similar to what a prospect last viewed. Hmm. Wow. Case studies. Similar to what you last viewed. Wow. Okay. Okay, so that was number two, and I hope I broke it down as much as possible. I am really trying to be happy about this. And I'm trying to make this video web design friendly. But when you really look at what you're going to be looking at in the future by 2030, it's just a tad bit concerning. And if please go to the comments if you felt anything that I'm feeling, please go to the comments and let me know so we can talk about this in the comments because this is wow. This is really wow. And this is what's coming in 5 years, and they already have three that's already coming here, that's already in development now. Okay, so now we're gonna go to number three because I definitely asked Chat GPT about number three because I was concerned when they said voice, AR, and spatial web. Now, I just assumed, Alexis, that you were going to be able to say, hey, web design, hey, can you do this? Can you give me the page to Amazon or whatever? I'm not sure how that was. It was very vague in the explanation. But once I actually did it, it says, here's what I mean by number three, voice, AR, and spatial web. These are emerging interfaces and environments that will redefine how users experience the internet by 2030. Okay, that's what chat said. So, number one is the voice first interfaces. Okay, that's what it's called, voice first interfaces. Instead of clicking or typing, now listen, instead of clicking or typing, people will talk to websites. That is what's going to happen. Instead of clicking or typing, people are going to actually speak or talk to websites, like how we talk to Alexa, Siri, or Google Assistant right now. And that's exactly what I said in the other one. I just assume that, yeah, you're going to be able to say, hey, pull up, so and so. You're going to be able to do that in a website. So if your website is Amazon and you want to pull up something, um, you'll be able to do that. So um, then you have websites will respond to voice commands, not just text input, voice commands. So um, navigation, search, and even transactions could be fully hands free. Navigation search. So whatever you're looking for, if you need to go to orders, it's going you all you have to do is say orders. If you're on Amazon and you need to go to orders where your orders are, all you have to do is say, "Hey, get me orders," or however it is. You don't have to click. You don't have to. It sounds to me like basically when they start this voice interface, this is going to phase out the mouse. This is really going to phase out the mouse. Let's think about that, guys. This is going to phase out the mouse. So let's see what else we have. This improves accessibility and opens the door for people who aren't tech savvy. Just as I said, phasing out the mouse. But although people may not be tech savvy, I mean, some people will never have, the experience like the younger generation that's coming up and who this will affect. They'll never have the experience of using a mouse like we did for years. They're going to look at that as antiquated. Everything is going to be talked to. Okay. So, um you can say, hey, this is an example. You can say, hey, show me the best bookkeeping packages under $100 a month, and the site instantly responds and filters those options. Wow, that's good. Wow. Okay, so it's not, you don't have to visit all over the site to get something. You can just go right to what you want, I'm assuming. Okay. So now this augmented reality, which this AR, which I really didn't understand, it's an augmented reality web. So augmented reality means overlaying digital content onto the real world. Think Instagram filters or Pokemon Go. So by 2030, websites won't just be flat screens, they'll project into your physical space through AR glasses or mobile devices. Okay, so by 2030, it's not just going to be a flat screen, it's going to be able to project. So I'm thinking hologram is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing hologram from the mobile device like they have in the movies. Project means projection, like like a projector that projects things off of a wall. So I'm thinking that is what they're speaking of. So whatever you're doing, you're probably going to be able to interact, move things around, and have this projection come right out of your phone or your TV or whatever it is. And then also the AR glasses. You may have to use AR glasses to be able to see the hologram or whatever. But I'm thinking that's what they're talking about. So, business will offer interactive product demos, try ons, or walkthroughs. So, businesses are doing that now. You can go to Amazon and see how furniture looks in your room once you use your camera. So, in your real environment. So, we understand that. And some demos, instead of waiting for them to contact you about a demo from a company, you might be able to do that right away. For an example, a furniture company's website lets you place a virtual couch in your living room using your phone before buying. So to me, that's already happening. They're doing that already. Okay. So and then we have three, spatial web, aka web 3.0 or 4.0. The spatial web refers to internet existing in 3D space, not just on screens. Websites will become immersive environments, experienced through VR headsets, smart glasses, or even holographic displays, which I told you is going to be immersive environments are going to be holographic, which that is definitely coming up. And instead of visiting a website, you might walk through a virtual office, store, or design studio. So that means the web is going to be so in your face that you may not need a brick and mortar, or if you it's a virtual brick and mortar. It's virtual. So you're going to be able to be with your VR headset or your glasses, you're going to be able to go into that virtual office or store or design studio. Now, here's the example. You visit a real estate company site and end up inside a 3D virtual model of the property, walking from room to room. So you can actually see what that property looks like. You don't have to go directly to the website. You can just view it 3D virtual model. And I'm just going to stop right here. Um, and I am going to just let you guys know that the combined impact, we'll stop right here and get the combined impact. By 2030, you might say a command instead of typing, see virtual elements appear in your room via AR, or step into a fully spatial experience that goes beyond flat screens. And if you guys are ready for that, please let me know in the comments. If you're not ready, let me know in the comments. I will be doing a part 3 because there is so much more to this than we have gone over. At the end of this series, I will tell you how and if technology will be easy to learn and tap into as a career or side hustle. And if you want to know how to protect yourself against violations due to AI, I'll be doing a video on protection of the consumer and the society. So, are web designers really about to become obsolete, or is it just the beginning of a major shift in how we create online? One thing is for sure, adapt or be replaced. So, if you're into learning about the future and how it's going to impact you in society, subscribe here for more videos. If you found this eye opening, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. And actually, do you think web design is dying or evolving? Well, I do want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in part 3. I am Natalie, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.